thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
Affiliates of the jihadist group ISIS, stationed in the Sinai Peninsula, have just accused Israeli jets of bombing them on Thursday. The alleged attack reportedly killed several people, including 2 children. The strikes were said to be just outside the cities of Rafah and Sheikh Zayed, though the attack has not yet been independently confirmed. Israel routinely chooses not to comment on attacks such as these and the reported airstrikes on Hamas positions also last Thursday. The airstrikes in Gaza were in response to rocket volleys launched at Israel from somewhere in the Palestinian coastal enclave. The IDF did mention, however, that while they did not believe Gaza's ruling party, Hamas, was responsible for the rocket attack, they do hold Hamas responsible for any breach of sovereignty coming out of their territory. Hamas, since coming into power over the Strip in 2007, has launched thousands of rockets into Israel from hospitals, schools, mosques, and other populated areas. Following the 2014 war with Israel, now known as Operation Protective Edge, and the installation of the Iron Dome system, the rockets have largely slowed. ISIS in Sinai isn't the only place where Israel was accused of operating in this weekend. As on Saturday, Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah criticized the Israeli airstrike in Syria, saying that Israel fears the Islamic State's defeat. Nasrallah went on to say that Syrian rebel groups that fight against embattled Syrian President Bashar Assad serve Israel and the United States. According to Israeli officials, the airstrike was aimed at a weapons convoy en route to Hezbollah. In response, the Syrian military fired a missile at one of the Israeli jets, which was shot down by the Israeli Arrow missile battery. Shortly after the Israeli attack on Syria, Moscow summoned Israeli ambassador to Russia Gary Koren for consultation. Since early on in the Syrian civil war, Russia has been propping up President Assad and his allies, which includes Iran and the Lebanese terror group Hezbollah. Last week, Prime Minister Netanyahu traveled to Moscow to discuss with Putin the current situation in Syria. According to Palestinian media, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas is invited to the White House for a meeting with United States President Donald Trump this April. The White House has yet to confirm. This meeting appears to be the latest development in the Trump administration's re-envisioned Middle East policy and comes at the heels of United States Middle East envoy Jason Greenblatt's visit to Israel and Ramallah. Both Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Abbas came away from their meetings with Greenblatt feeling hopeful. Prime Minister Netanyahu told Greenblatt that Israel was fully committed to broadening prosperity for Palestinians as a means of bolstering prospects of peace. Abbas said in a statement that he told Greenblatt that, quote, he believes that under President Trump's leadership, a historic peace deal is possible and that it will enhance security throughout the region, end quote. Further, it said that President Abbas is committed to preventing inflammatory rhetoric and incitement, things that Prime Minister Netanyahu charges are largely responsible for the continuing animosity in the region. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu flew to China early this morning, where he is scheduled to meet with the country's most senior officials, Prime Minister Li Keqiang and the head of the country's parliament, Zhang Dejiang. Netanyahu made it clear that the focus of his trip will be boosting trade ties between the two countries. Netanyahu's last visit to China was in May of 2013, when he similarly met with political leaders and focused on bolstering trade, which at that point stood at around $8 billion annually. Today, China is Israel's largest trading partner in Asia, with trade value close to $11 billion per year. If all goes well during the premier's current visit, that number could potentially skyrocket. Netanyahu's delegation to China is the biggest foreign delegation ever sent abroad and includes Environmental Protection Minister Zev Elkin, Economy Minister Eli Cohen, Science, Technology and Space Minister Ophir Akunis, and Health Minister Yaakov Litzman, as well as a slew of Israeli businessmen and academics. Get ready, because Israel is about to host the Princess of Pop for the first time ever. That's right, Britney Spears is redefining her prerogatives now that she's scheduled to show a Tel Aviv show this coming summer. A date hasn't yet been set, but according to Israel's Channel 2 News, Britney will be hitting the stage for a one-night-only show in the beginning of July. Fans are reeling with excitement in the Holy Land as they wait for the final date and ticket information to be announced, which will reportedly take place over the next couple of days. Local music producers say they've been working to bring the pop star to Israel since last year, but let's just say Britney fans have been waiting a lot longer. The celebrity performer became an international pop sensation in the late 1990s with hits like Oops, I Did It Again and Hit Me Baby One More Time, and she's sold more than 100 million albums and singles throughout her career. She'll be joining an awesome lineup of performers scheduled to let loose in Tel Aviv this summer, including Justin Bieber, Guns N' Roses, Radiohead, and Aerosmith.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.